Happy Wednesday, students. I did not have the opportunity to finish the lesson on Monday. It was getting to be too long, so I added it to the Wednesday lesson. So you are going to continue with levels and directions, and then we will move into the regular Wednesday lesson as well. All right, so I am going to play some music, and I am going to call out a locomotor skill. Locomotor skill is just the way you move, okay? There are 8 locomotor skills. We did walking, running, jumping, hopping, galloping, side sliding, leaping, and now we're on skipping. So there are 8 locomotor skills. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we'll practice all of those right now. And if you forget, I'll stay right here so you can remember what it is. If you already know, you can walk all over your room or wherever you're at as long as you're in a safe space and you're keeping your personal space. If there are people in your house and it's super crowded, or you only have a little tiny desk area, you might just have to walk like this in a circle for the whole time. And that is totally fine, okay? All right, here we go. We're gonna start off with walking. All right, now we're going to do a really slow run. If you don't have any room, you can run right in place. If you want to, you can make your knees, if you're running in place, make your knees go really high. You can run in place really fast, okay? It's up to you. Make sure you're running. Hop. 1 foot. Hopping's 1 foot. Switch feet. We're going to jump 2 feet. All right, now we're going to slide. Step together, remember? If you want to, you can do it fast. Step together. That's the slow version. Fast. Now we're going to gallop. So when you gallop, 1 foot's forward, the other one's like a T. So look down at your feet to make sure they make a little T and gallop. Step together. Step together. Step together. Step together. If you want to, you can switch feet so that other foot is pointed out. It's up to you. Step, step. 1 foot and 1 foot. Step, step. Step, step. If you want to, you can switch feet. So you're using your non-dominant foot. All right, awesome. Good job. Come back home. Oh no, I forgot skipping. How could I forget? So if you can skip, you go ahead and skip. If you need help skipping, we're going to practice until you get it, all right? Step, hop, 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 step, hop. All righty, please use the the locomotor skill walking to come back to home base. All right. there are a couple of other things that we need to talk about. So when we do these different things, these different locomotor skills, we can do them at different levels. So we can do them at a low level, close to the ground. We can do them at a medium level, which is normal, which is what we've been doing, or we can do them at a high level, okay? So, if I'm going to leap at a low level, I'm gonna do this. Like there's a pencil that I'm leaping over, something really, really short. So low level, my feet barely leave the ground for my step, step. Step, step. If I want to leap at a high level, I'm going to pretend like there's a chair or a bench in front of me, and I have to leap at a high level. So I have to get way up there so I can be at a high level. All right, we are going to start off with something easy. We are going to walk at a high level. So you can walk on your tippy toes, you can stretch way up if you want to. Walk at a high level. All right, now I want you to walk at a low level. Some people can get really, really close to the ground. So if you can get closer than I am, go ahead and walk at a low level. Low. Like if you can duck walk, go for it. All right, awesome. All right, so now we are going to slide at a low level. So in order to slide at a low level, our knees need to be bent as low as we can. We're going to step together, step together, step together. If you have to go slow, that's fine. Step together, step together. We're mostly talking about levels. Step together, step together. If you can do it faster, go ahead and do it faster. If you have to go slow, go slow. All right, awesome. Now we're going to gallop at a low level. You got to get way down. Your feet make a T. This foot's forward, this foot's sideways. Gallop at a low level. You're close to the ground. All right, now I want you to gallop at a high level. So you're going to have to gallop and push way up. So gallop at a high level. Awesome. All right. Now, probably one of the hardest is skipping at a low level. So if you aren't super great at skipping yet, and I bet most of you are not, then you need to just do step, hop, step, hop. So at a low level, it looks like this. Step, hop, step, hop, step, hop, step, hop. Okay? If you're going to do it fast, it looks like this. So skip at a low level. All right. Now, we're going to skip at a high level. So the high part is on the hop. So you have to hop really high when you're skipping at a high level. So you're going to step, hop, 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 step, hop. Good job. All right. There are also different pathways. So, the pathway that most of you know is straight. So it just means you're going from one place straight to the other. So I'm going to walk in a straight line. All right, now there is another pathway. It's curvy. So it's going to go not quite in circles, but it doesn't have any sharp turns. So this is curvy. And I'll try and put a picture on my video so you can see curvy. Okay? All right. So curvy is nice and smooth. Now we're going to do zigzag. So zigzag is almost like curvy, except it's like this, stop, and then you turn and you go a different direction, and you turn and you go a different direction. So everything's a really sharp point at the end. So watch. If I'm going to zigzag towards you, I'm going to go here, I'm going to stop, I'm going to turn, and then I'm going to go, I'm going to turn, and I'm going to go, and I'm going to turn, and I'm going to go, and I'm going to turn. So if I go back zigzag, walk, stop, turn, walk, stop, turn, walk, stop, turn, walk, and stop at home base. So curvy means there's no stopping and turning. It's just nice and smooth and fluid, no sharp edges. And zigzag, there are stops, turns, stops, turns, stops, turns, stops, turns. All right, so we have straight, we have curvy, and we have zigzag, where I stop and turn. So I'm gonna do one, and then I'm gonna give you, like 5 seconds to tell me if it's straight, if it's curvy, or if it's zigzag. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. What did I do? Right, I walked in a straight line. Okay, tell me what this one is. All right, which one is that? Right, that's curvy. Now what about this one? What's that one? Right, that one is zigzag. So, tell me what I'm doing. There are going to be 3 different things, okay? All right, I'm using the locomotor skill, walking at a low level in a curvy pathway. Oh, that's a lot. So I was walking at a low level in a curvy pathway. So there were 3 things. All right. So now what am I doing? I don't know if that was easy or hard to see. I was walking at a high level because I was on my tippy toes in a straight line. All right, what about this one? I was walking at a medium level in a zigzag direction. So here's what we're going to do. Hello students, how are you? Happy Wednesday. I cannot believe we have been in school for a whole week already. That is just too much. Time is just going by so quickly. Okay, today we are going to continue talking about locomotor skills, pathways, and today we're going to mix in some creativity. So I know a lot of you are very, very creative. So we will do that today. The first thing I need to review is home base. So when I say home or go home or the music stops, any of those three things, you're going to come right back to home base. Okay? So that's right in front of your computer. The second thing, you need to look around you and make sure that you have plenty of room so you can keep your personal space. So your personal space is how far you can reach up, down, sideways. The general space is the area that you're in. So when I have my personal space and I'm in a general space, if I move my body, my personal space moves with me, okay? So there's lots of things going on in this general space. There's lots of chairs, there's lots of tables, so I have to be really careful to keep my personal space away from all of those other things in the general space. And when we go back to school, or maybe even when you're at home right now and you have brothers and sisters and other people in your house, you need to make sure that your personal space doesn't interfere with their personal space. So you need to stay way away from each other so nobody gets hurt. That's the main reason. All right, so we are going to do some creative moves. All right, how would you walk on ice? So ice is really, really slippery. And you don't have on snowshoes, you just have on your regular old shoes, or maybe you're even in bare feet. So show me how you would walk slipping and sliding all over. Let me see it. Slipping and sliding. Don't lose control of your body. Slipping and sliding, let me see it. Oh, wow. Wow. Be careful. Slippery. Be careful. All right, now I want you to pretend like you are on something that is hot, like the sand or the blacktop when it's really hot. So you got to make sure that your feet don't stay on the ground very long. So you need to be really creative about how you walk on the hot surface. Go. Whoa, that's super hot. That must be a volcano. That must be a volcano. Ooh, careful. Uh-oh, I think someone's walking on the sun. I think someone's walking on the sun. I think they're melting. I don't know. It's super hot. Be careful. Make sure your feet don't get burned. Stay off. Stay off. Stay off. Stay off. Alrighty. Wonderful. Here we go. Now you are going to pretend like the wind is really, really blowing. All the flags are sticking out straight. The trees are swaying. And the wind, it can either be blowing at you, it can be blowing behind you, or it can be blowing to the side of you. So if the wind was blowing at me and I would have to really push hard to get through the wind. If the wind was blowing from behind me, it might be pushing me forward. And if I was trying to walk and the wind was coming at me sideways, it might be trying to blow me over. So let me see you try and walk in the wind. So it's really windy. Let me see you walking in the wind. Super windy. That must be like a stage 3 hurricane or something. That's super windy, or a monsoon, I don't know. Wow. Wow. And our last one, you are going to pretend like you are walking through a jungle. So when you're in a jungle, there's vines hanging in your face, and there's bushes hitting you in the leg, and there's logs that you have to walk over. So I want you to pretend like you're in a jungle and you have to push all this stuff out of the way. So I want to see you walking in a jungle. The thicker the foliage in the jungle, the better. So lots of trees, lots of bushes, lots of logs. Let me see you walk in the forest. Hopefully there's no animals in the forest. Maybe a snake's gonna come and you have to jump out of the way. I don't know, use your imagination. Maybe you're being chased by a jaguar. I don't know. Yeah, watch out for those logs. Make sure you step over the ants. There's lots of ants. Right, and sometimes the leaves are slippery. I see some of you slipping and sliding on the leaves. Wow. Awesome. Alrighty. Here's what we're gonna do. We are going to practice some locomotor challenges. So, I want you to side slide all the way over to the closest wall. The farthest wall, and all the way back. And I want you to count how many it takes you to get there. So, I'm gonna have a pretend wall so I can show you. So I'm gonna remember side slide, your feet are straight ahead and it's step together, step together. So you're gonna be like this. I'm gonna pretend like my wall's right there. 1, 2, 3. So it took me 3. Some of you might be in a really big room, so it might take you a lot. So when the music starts, you're going to side slide and count how many it takes you to get to the farthest wall. Ready? Go. All right, I'll wait till everyone gets back. Some people way over there. Come back. All right, on the count of 3, in a whisper voice. Not super loud, in a whisper voice, a loud whisper. I want you to tell me how many side slides it took. 1, 2, 3. Oh, wow, I heard some good numbers. I heard 3, I heard 10, I heard 6. This time, you are going to gallop. And you are going to see how many gallops you can do in 10 seconds. So, I'm gonna turn on my watch. I'm gonna start the music for 10 seconds. And you see how many gallops you can do. Remember, gallop, your feet are like a T. Step together, step together. Make sure you're keeping your personal space. Do not run into anything. Be super careful. So if you have to gallop like this in a little tiny circle, that's what you have to do. You have to gallop in a little tiny circle. All right, here we go. Ready, set, go. All right, stop. All right, how many did you do? Show me with your fingers. Some of you don't have enough fingers. Some did 7, that was good. Some did more than 10. If you did more than 10, give me thumbs up. All right, wow, awesome, okay. And our next one, we are going to jump. I want to see how many jumps it takes you to get to the closest wall this time, because jumps are a little bit harder. So we can't jump for a super long time. So remember, when you jump, 2 feet are together, you land on 2 feet. You don't need to take big, huge jumps. You don't need to do that, okay? So ready? Jump to the closest wall this time. Go. On the count of 3, just in a normal voice, I want you to tell me how many jumps it took you. 1, 2, 3. Whoa, more jumps than side slides for sure, because jumps are harder. You can't really jump super far. So I heard 25, I heard 32, I heard 16. So if you had more jumps, you either took little tiny jumps, or your wall, your closest wall was really far away. If you took less jumps, like 5, you either took really big jumps, or your closest wall was like right next to you. So that's fine. It just depends. Everybody has a different amount of space. All right, now we are going to do some creative moves with different pathways. So I'm going to call out something, and I want you to do it, and then I am going to show you what that's supposed to look like. All right, here's a challenge. Remember, a straight line is straight, okay? Remember, a curvy line just has nice, smooth turns. And remember, a zigzag line has really sharp turns that you can notice. You're totally changing direction, all right, quickly. All right, I want you to walk in a straight line. I know, I had to start off early. I had to start off easy. So walk in a straight line. All right, if you're walking in a straight line, it looks just like this. So you might be walking this way. As long as you're going straight, that's perfectly fine. All right. This one, you are going to jog, so you're not running, jog slowly in a zigzag. Remember, a zigzag has super sharp turns. So jog slowly in a zigzag. Let me see it. All right, so if you're jogging in a zigzag, you're stopping and turning a zigzag. All right, way to go. That one was hard. This time, you are going to walk on your tippy toes in a curvy line. Curvy pathway, sorry. Walk on your tiptoes in a curvy pathway. I'm watching. All right, you're gonna walk on your tippy toes in a curvy pathway. So no sharp turns. You're turning, but they're just not sharp turns. All right, the next one. You are going to gallop in a straight line. So I want you to remember gallop. I always remind you, because it's really hard, especially when we first start the year. Gallop, your feet are a letter T. So I want you to gallop in a straight line. Go. Awesome. So this is a gallop in a straight line. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to gallop and use the other foot forward. So you're still facing your computer, you can see me, and then gallop using your other foot forward. And I want you to try and do that a couple of times, switching your feet so the T is pointing a different way. Okay? I want you to try that. Try galloping. Now I want you to hop So remember, hop is 1 foot. I want you to hop in a curvy pathway, and then on your way back to home base, I want you to hop on your other foot. So you're gonna hop on 1 foot, curvy, and then you're gonna hop on your other foot, back, curvy. Right, so hopping in a curvy pathway. So there's no abrupt turns, and then on my way back, I'm gonna hop on my other foot. Now I'm gonna do a super challenge. So I want you to side slide in a zigzag pattern. I want you to side slide in a zigzag pattern. Let me see it. Right. So if you're side sliding, you're like this, and then you turn, and then you turn, and then you turn, okay? Now, super challenge. I want you to zigzag forward, and then I want you to zigzag backwards. Try it. And some of you might know this right away, and some of you might not know it. So I want you to, so I'm going to zigzag in a, I'm going to side slide in a zigzag pattern, forward and backward, and you tell me what it reminds you of, okay? Ready? Can somebody tell me what that reminds them of? I know some of you know. So, if you play a sport, you probably use all of these locomotor skills and all of these pathways. So once you get super advanced at your locomotor skills, you might use this zigzag pattern. So when you're playing defense, and so somebody has the ball in front of you, like a basketball or a soccer ball, you might need to side slide in a zigzag pattern so you can be the defender. So you can try and get the basketball away from them, or you can try and get the soccer ball away from them, or whatever game you're playing. And you need to work on your locomotor skills. So maybe you can use them down the road if you play sports. Some of you probably already play sports. All right. So, quick review. I want you to think about the different pathways that we traveled in today. There were 3. What was the first one? First pathway. Okay, first pathway was walking in a straight line. Good job. Second pathway was what? Right, we walk in a curvy pathway, so there's no sharp turns. And what was our third pathway? Right, our third pathway was zigzag. So it has really straight lines and sharp turns. All right, so I want you to think about a sport where you might do a lot of jumping. Think of a sport. Think of a sport where you might do a lot of jumping. Okay, on the count of 3, just normal voice, no screaming, tell me your sport. Oh, good. All right, so I heard baseball, or softball. If somebody hits a ball to you, you might have to jump up to get it. I also heard basketball. So you might have to jump to get the ball. You might have to jump to shoot. I heard soccer. So if the ball's coming, you might have to jump to hit it with your head, or if you're a goalie, you might have to jump to stop it with your hands. I heard dance. I heard cheerleading. I heard swimming. So if you're swimming and you're on the edge, you might have to jump into the pool. Gymnastics, of course you jump. I also heard that. All right, so boys and girls, you need to practice your locomotor skills so you can apply them in different situations in your life. So you might play sports. You might be out for a walk and maybe a dog is running toward you and you'll need to run away. You might want to learn how to jump so you can jump into the swimming pool and swim. Except when you're jumping into the swimming pool, well, I guess you could land on 2 feet if you wanted to, but you can also dive in head first. So I guess that would be a dive, the difference between jumping. All right, I hope you have a really good day, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Bye.